an introduction to a self-love culture, like a new way of thinking, living, moving, breathing, talking, and eating. Most importantly, eating. It's all about like what you put in your body, and that's huge. So how you think and like the information that you do retain, and how you guys just put it out on your board. The same thing as far as the retaining information. The same thing as far as putting the right things into your body. So I think this is going to be really valuable for all of us here, especially myself as well. So really quick, if you guys don't mind just introducing yourselves, your name, where you're from, what you guys kind of do, or at least what you're passionate about, and I guess your eating style, whatever your eating style, however you define your eating style to be, or your eating lifestyle.
Okay, cool. So, Casey, I'm originally from New York, Bronx, New York, but I moved up here and I went to Sacred Heart. I got my degree in exercise science. I was going to be a physical therapist, but instead, I'm a vegan chef now.
Yeah.
My eating journey. So, while working for an orthopedic surgeon, I realized that all these clients were coming in and he was assigning them open knee surgery or any type of surgery, and I was like, if you just prescribe them a meal plan, they wouldn't need to be cut open. So I realized, if people just fix the way they eat, cut back, because we live in like a total obese society. We eat way more than we need to. Portions are way bigger than they need to be. So if we just ate right, we would benefit a lot. Like we'd be a lot healthier. We wouldn't need to be cut open or even go to the doctor. Like my baby's first appointment, he didn't get till he was 6 months old. And people are like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? You're supposed to take him like 2 weeks, then 2 months, then 3 months. He's been super healthy. It's a completely vegan baby. I was vegan throughout my whole pregnancy. So yeah, I'm a huge, crazy vegan activist. I'm one of those people like you love to hate, like one of those. So I went vegan. I actually went vegan. Was I vegan when I started at Metcha? I just started. Okay, we bartended together. So shout out to her. She was part of my early vegan journey. But so I went vegan, and it was literally like strictly salads the whole first week because I had no idea what I could eat. It was like salads for lunch and dinner, and Metcha has some bomb salads if you know what Metcha is. But yeah, that's it. And I was lucky enough to have a boyfriend who did it with me. So if you find someone to do it with you, it makes it 1,000 times easier. But yeah, that's it.
I'm Shael. Food. Yeah, I think. I'm a singer-songwriter. I live in LA. From Haiti. So if you know anything about the Haitian culture, we love meat.
Mm-hmm.
I think until last year, 2 years ago, I didn't even consider a meal without meat in it. So I definitely, but what I did notice is that food would affect my emotions a lot in ways that I couldn't control, and I don't like not having control over my emotions when I can, at least. And so I saw that connection, and I was like, why am I I don't know, why do I feel like something's stuck or in my throat, or why can't I express how I feel? And why, every time I'm hungry, I'm hangry, and that's, I don't know, I was like, okay, maybe I just need to, eat organic chicken and all of this and, less hormones and all of that stuff, but it wasn't until I, committed to veganism that I felt, I don't know, just, light. Yeah, I'm still very early on. I don't crave meat. I sometimes crave, I would say sweets that have butter or eggs in them that you just don't think about having butter and eggs in them. But if you ever have had a vegan treat, it's 10 times better, and you're wow, I'm not gonna feel like crap, complete crap afterwards.
It's so true.
So yeah, and then I started about almost a year ago. Andre is lucky enough, or I'm lucky enough to have Andre out there out in LA, and he's been so down for it just because he's seen a difference in the food, and also it's just easy to make. If you cook vegan meat versus regular meat, first of all, no watery gross things are coming out, but then on top,
it's not bleeding.
Yeah, it's not bleeding. It's not, there aren't excess things pouring out of it, but it's also a bag of some meat is $5 to cook. Vegan meat. or 5 minutes to cook, and it's also $5, so it's like, so I think just seeing the options that I have, especially being in LA, I'm lucky. There's just a lot of things out there. But then even when I came out here yesterday, I went to Walmart, which I never shop at Walmart, but there were like so many vegan options. So I think that, I don't know, I'm a firm believer that you can demand what, we control the demand, right? So if we demand better food, then like people will make better food. And if we demand like vegan food that tastes good, like we'll have vegan food that tastes good, So yeah, I guess that's me.
Nice. And for you guys, also feel free anytime if you guys have a question or a thought or like confused or like does everyone know what vegan is or eating health or eating that way, or if you don't, that's perfectly fine. Or like if you want to know more in depth about it, can you guys go more in depth of what the vegan lifestyle is like?
Yeah, sure. So it's a great question because a lot of people actually don't know the difference between vegetarian and vegan.
Mm-hmm.
So vegetarians, and there's a bunch of different vegetarians, there's like lacto-vegetarian, ovo-vegetarian. So vegetarians eat like byproducts of animals. So they'll eat eggs and they'll eat milk. Vegans eat absolutely no animal products. Like they won't even eat honey from a bee. I'm a vegan and I eat honey.
I do too, and that's so hard.
It's hard.
No, I mean, it's so hard for me to be like, well, is it, and do you eat gelatin too?
No.
Okay, because that's like ground up, but like, that's another hard thing, like gummies, I always want to like go and reach for gummies, and then like, I'm like, wait, I can't eat that.
Yeah.
But honey,
gelatin,
definitely.
yeah, I love honey.
Yeah.
But, because gelatin's from pig, right? Yeah.
It's like ground up like pig bone or something, or pig cartilage.
Yeah, so no gelatin, but so that's the difference. Vegans will not eat any type of byproduct at all from any animals.
Nice. Okay. Nice. Okay, so we're gonna go through this.
Can I actually elaborate? I have a vegan friend who also, I would consider him like one of like my most extreme vegan friends. He doesn't like down to like what he wears, so like how are your clothes being made, how how much plastic are you, like they take the veganism to like a whole, because once you start being vegan, you start being conscious a little bit more, so that like creates a transformation in like a lot of other things. So yeah, just want to throw that up.
No, yeah, I think that's a good point. So how we're gonna go through this list, I'm gonna have both of our panelists, they're gonna roll the dice, whatever number it lands on, that number, they're gonna talk about that topic for like a good, almost like 5 minutes, or so. Like, oh my god! Or just for however, they have that 5-minute window to talk about it, and then after that, whoever rolled the dice, the other person can answer that same question or talk about that same topic afterwards. So just feel free. Let's start off with Chef Casey, actually. So I'm gonna have you roll the dice, toss it. Don't hit them. What we got? A 2.
2.
So let's talk about just discipline. Just tell me what this word means, let's say, in relationship to your eating lifestyle.
Okay. So discipline for eating vegan, and you can look at it 2 ways. You ask a vegan what they, I only eat plants. But then it's like, I eat every type of plant and vegetable you could think of, So it's literally how you want to look at how you eat. Some vegans feel like they're limited. I don't feel limited at all. I feel like I'm not taking in any flesh or any dead carcass. That's how I want you to think of meat now when you think of it. It's like, chicken wings, carcass. But I'm literally eating every vegetable that you could think of, and I'm eating it sauteed, baked, fried. So the variety is huge. So as for discipline, it's like, I don't feel like, it's like a strict, like I gotta wake up and remind myself I'm vegan and you can't eat this and stuff like that. It's literally like, just going with the flow. I'm eating lively foods. I'm eating what my body deserves. Like, I don't want to put anything dead into my body, because you feel dead after you eat it. You're eating lively foods, you're gonna feel like full of energy, you're gonna feel light. Shale mentioned you're gonna feel bouncy. It's just, you feel awesome the first week. Try it. But as for any other way being disciplined, it's just it's knowledge. It's educating yourself nonstop. Like she said, once you become conscious, like it's like, you know, let me use this makeup. Is it tested on animals? I guess I'm really not vegan if I'm letting them test this makeup product on animals and all that type of stuff. So it's just being conscious, and I would use the word conscious instead of discipline. It's just knowing everything that you're putting in your body, you know, what you're being around, what you're immersing your body in completely and fully. Just be aware of it.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I would add is that, you know, outside influences, sometimes like, you know, you're in America and meat is being thrown at you, dairy is being thrown at you. I agree, I don't feel limited at all, but there is, I would say where I utilize my discipline is in being patient with people who like, who immediately like toss out the idea of eating healthy or assume that I want to like force it on them, even though I kind of do want.
You totally do.
Yeah, like I do want you to be healthier. Like I want you to have a better life. But yeah, I would say the discipline for me is just learning how to articulate something that I'm so passionate about to people that are used to a complete different lifestyle. And like I said, I grew up Haitian, so that lifestyle is completely different. So even being disciplined enough to be like, how do I communicate to my mom that I don't want to eat meat, that I don't want butter in the rice and beans, that I don't want, like, no, that's also still not vegan. No, that's still not vegan. No, that's still not vegan. You know? But yeah, as far as options, even since I've been vegan, like the amount of like Ben and Jerry's, with having like non-dairy ice cream, literally just the options have like expanded. So discipline.
No, but she made a perfect point. When you're around people who aren't vegan, especially coming from like a super cultured background, it's tough. People are like, what is wrong with you?
People like assault your character.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just doing this for me.
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, it's true. Is that like, let's say when you're around family, or let's say if you are, or like you just like went back home, or you see your parents or your family, loved ones, anyone, and like they do not eat the same thing as you do. What's or I guess what do you do in that situation? I mean, obviously you still eat what you want. Or like if it's not, I don't want to get into accessibility, but if it's not there, or if it's, or how would you still stay true to you if your whole family is eating a specific thing? Or like, do you talk about it, or like, what's the?
Oh yeah, I'm a super talker.
Yeah.
I want you to know all the poison you're putting in your body. And you know, we go to family functions. Like we went to Georgia, and you know, Georgia's full of like barbecue ribs and fried chicken.
Yeah, like the barbecue. You grow up with barbecue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not gonna lie and say it don't taste good. Like, I've eaten, I know what it tastes like, but it's like people will come at you, and it's like you know, people will come, where do you get your protein from? My favorite question. And it's just like, you have to know the knowledge to be able to spit it right back at them. Or you could be the bigger person and, you know, brush them off. But I'm an arguer. I want to argue with you. I want to tell you what you're putting in your body. So I have no problem barking back at family members and trying to come with my lifestyle.
Nice. Yeah.
So in those family functions, do you bring your own food?
Yeah, so we don't go anywhere without our own tray of food. And at this point, you know, we're used to it, and I love cooking, so it's not a big deal. But, you know, we always make sure we have some tray of food just for us. And when we go to the family functions, people are like, can I have some? No! But yeah, we always have to bring our own food.
Nice.
For me, like last night I just went grocery shopping, and I was like, I'm gonna buy my family groceries. I'm excited to do that. You know what I mean? Like I didn't think twice about it. I was like, I want to get like, oh my god, like they have like fake ground beef. Like I'm gonna get that and this and this and this and like, oh man, like I gotta make this for them and they're gonna, you know. So like, I enjoy that. I enjoy getting groceries. I do pack a lot of snacks, and I've just started like bringing some of like my own food. But again, I'm in LA, so usually I can like, I'm really good at looking at a menu and being like, all right, like I'm gonna sub this, add this, sub this. And like, if that's what I want to do and like eat with my friends, or, you know, bringing a meal.
Yep.
I'm just starting it.
Nice.
French fries are vegan.
Yes,
They have them everywhere.
My
So.
best friend. My little fry. So let's roll the dice again. Shiloh, you want to do the honors? Toss it up, toss it up, toss it up.
Just kidding.
Don't tell me not to. foods. Yeah, what is unhealthy or healthy eating? We kind of touched base on that already, but if you wanted to elaborate, if you want to talk about that a little more.
Yeah, I guess going into consciousness a little bit more, you know, like you, ultimately, like you know what your body needs, you know how your body feels, like if you put something in it, like you feel like that food coma or whatever, like you know it. So I think that unhealthy is that feeling, is that lifestyle of putting in, consuming things, whether it's relationships, food, all of that is toxic to you. So, you know, for food, I would say generally, like, you know, meat is toxic for everyone, you know what I mean? For relationships, it might be different, it might vary, but again, like you figure out what works for you. I would say that's like, unhealthy. Yeah, unhealthy is that bad feeling that you feel when you put something bad into you, whether it's anything. And then healthy eating, I mean, veganism, to be like simple, just not eating anything. Like if you think about it, like you kill a cow, like, or a chicken, it's like its average lifespan is, I don't even know, like a week, 2 weeks, how, like they pump hormones in it, kill it. It's like there are all these diseases that you don't even know about, and then you eat it, and then like what do you think is happening? Like those diseases don't go away, those hormones aren't like, they don't just magically disappear because you ate them, like they're going in you. You're consuming them, and then you're digesting them, and then they're affecting like the way that you think, and the way that you act, and the way that you, so like I was saying, like I couldn't control my emotions sometimes, like 100% was because of what I was consuming, like, and it was because of my food specifically, like, so yeah, healthy eating is eating stuff that grows and stuff that isn't a dead carcass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. There's also other ways that we could be unhealthy with eating, like she said, she doesn't get hangry anymore. I'm vegan, I still get hangry. But it's our relationship. It's the relationship we have with food, you know. I have this friend, and you know, we were talking, and he knows like just about everything I know about like how beneficial it is to just cut back on the animal products. And I was just like, you know, why can't you make the switch? You know all this information. What is stopping you? And his answer was basically like the relationship he has with food. Like when he's depressed, he turns to food. And you know, that's something like some of us still do. So it's just being able to not looking at food as like a coping mechanism, I guess. So that's one way to look at unhealthy eating. You know, I still love sugar. I love sweets. I love bread. Oh my God, I love bread. And you know, like she said, it's consciousness. Like we could tell you, we could drill in your head like meat is bad, but unless you do the research yourself, like did you know like the chicken, our chicken is illegal in Europe? Like American chicken is illegal in Europe because all the stuff we put in it. Our milk is illegal in Europe and India because all the antibiotics, all the bacteria, and it's just available for us. Like our McDonald's, even our McDonald's tastes completely different from the McDonald's in Italy.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck America, kind of. But, like they're feeding us awful things, and just because it's FDA approved doesn't mean that it's good. The honey, like back to honey. The honey, like I only eat raw honey, and like it's raw, it's full of pollen, all that stuff. Because the regular honey at the supermarket, it's corn syrup, it's sugar, it's watered down sugar. So like I said, like we could tell you as many times, but unless you do the research, unless you want to feel better completely and fully, like you're not really gonna, I don't want to say take it seriously, but you're not gonna really understand what unhealthy eating is to you. Because it's like, oh, I eat organic chicken, you know, it's not that bad. But you know, at this point, y'all know what I'm saying.
And we're, go ahead.
How much so I watched the What the Health documentary, and it literally, I was like discussing, you remember when we did like a 360 for like, someone called me yet. We did for, you know, quite a chunk of time, and I have like a strange allergy, so I ended up going down to like pescatarian. Like that's as far as I could go comfortably because, again, my parents are Asian, like I get the whole like, the whole tug of war and everything, but how much of your diet is raw? Because my allergy has a lot to do with raw fruits and vegetables, so that's what kind of turned me off from that and cheese, but that turned me off from
People love cheese. your question is how much of my diet is raw?
Yeah.
Okay, so right now, because I'm nursing, my diet's probably like 20% raw. But once I'm done, I plan on being like 70% raw. What's your allergy? I could take it, babe. What's your allergy?
Raw fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
So cook's fine, but raw is like, and it makes it difficult because if you're thinking fast food choices, like not fast food in terms of like McDonald's, just
For sure.
quick choices,
Mm-hmm.
you're thinking like, I'm guessing like when you grab carrots or celery or something like munch on, where that's not necessarily an option for me. You know what I'm saying?
So you can't eat raw foods, really?
No.
Do you meal prep? Maybe. I don't even fully meal prep because I like change my mind on what I want every day. So I'm like, I don't want this that I made yesterday, but I'll make a little bit extra always to say and I'll have like a bunch of different Tupperwares now, and it'll be like, breaded artichokes, sausage, the field roast sausage. But I'll make one and I'll just like make a bunch of them, and just enough to have like another meal if I'm running, and I can just like throw it in my bag if I'm like, going somewhere, walking somewhere. My diet for raw, I would say like 35%. I cook a lot. I'm just so used to like cooking everything just because I'm Haitian.
Right.
But I mean, I would say meal prep is the easiest way. Get those raw foods and cook them, and then just make a little bit extra to have for the next day. And don't be like, even though you are pescatarian right now, I think the discipline is not like shaming yourself and be like, I'm not there, and like I'm not aware. Like, you just being aware that you want to be better is like a world's, like, it's like the biggest step. And then like that split between like, okay, like now do I really, like, can I give this up and like really commit to like the healthiest lifestyle possible? That's like so small, so I would say, that's another thing for discipline, where I'd be like, don't like feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing,
And it's all wordplay. Don't be like, I only eat fish. Just be fun facts for fish. Do you eat tilapia?
No.
Okay, cool. Do you eat salmon?
Yes.
Is it farm raised or fresh?
Whatever's up the roasting.
Because that fresh is expensive, I know that. And farm raised, a lot of the farm raised fish, they're gray, and salmon's pink, and it's dyed. So even that fish is super dyed. And I'm being vegan.
That's crazy.
That fresh fish is expensive. I'd rather be vegan than pay for that fresh. But what was I gonna say? Oh, I don't want you to think like being vegan, majority of your diet has to be raw. Because it doesn't, And part of my brain, what I do, like my mom's from Barbados. So a lot of the foods I make, and I grew up like around Spanish people my whole life. So a lot of the foods I make, like, they're ethnic, they're cultured. So like you got empanadas in there that I brought. You got lasagna. You got like some southern fried cauliflower. So it's not, your diet does not have to be raw. Being vegan.
And before I forget, with the meats that are plant-based, I'm guessing. I know like a lot of the like tug of war between like.
Is the soy?
Well, I guess the question is usually like, how do you consider it? How is it not GMO modified if it tastes like meat, it looks like meat, but it's, I think that's usually the question that a lot of people have that nobody really answers or asks.
No, and that's a great question. So a lot of, and there are vegans who are like, I do not eat any processed anything. I only eat steamed vegetables. That's the type of vegan I aspire to be. But seriously. But as for those type of meats, so Beyond Beef is a meatless brand, and it's vegan, and it is amazing. It's GMO free, it's soy free, it's like,
it tastes like a burger.
And it tastes like a burger. So
that specifically.
And it's really yummy. So there are vegan alternatives that are aware of things like that, that are even nut free, because that's something people have an issue with. Like, I want to go vegan, but I'm allergic to every type of nut. What can I eat? Because we use nuts as
And
in everything. There's no nuts in the food today though. But so there are brands that offer all that stuff, that offer the good stuff, minus the GMOs and all that type of thing. Yeah.
So, Shayna, you were saying like your body knows what it wants and like what it needs. What if your body always feels like it wants meat?
That's what I thought. I think also like being able to translate your body too. So like you might think that that's what it's saying, like that the hunger is like I need, like it might just be like I need protein. You know what I mean? And you can still get that protein without eating a steak, because once you eat that steak, you might get that instant gratification, but then you also get like an instant like crash. And like it's not just like a, oh, like I'm not hungry anymore, like oh, like you feel it, and like we were talking about, just the chemicals again, like they're in you. If you've ever taken birth control, ladies, I've like taken birth control and it's like fucked me up. Like I've just gone crazy and I've tried a bunch of different ones, and now I'm like I'm anti it. But it's kind of like that, where like if you do like a 2-week like no meat, no dairy, and then like you'll be able to figure it out.
Or 1 week.
Or 1 week, yeah. And then like, I mean, I wouldn't encourage it, but then like try eating meat, your body will be like, no, like, you know, even my period like is now like regular, you know what I mean? And that's like, I'm like, whoa, is this supposed to be like it sounds so corny, but like I'm like it's so light. I'm like not in like crazy pain every month. Like I still have a craving for meat or whatever, but it is that processed meat. And even still, like I feel like it's declining. I don't even like, Andre can just like I don't even buy as much now. So yeah, I would say just like don't let your body trick you. You know, and you should know how you talk to yourself and like which voices you should like listen to or how to listen to them. So even if you do hear that like I want meat right now, be like, is that what I want, or is it, you know, I want chocolate. Is it chocolate or is it magnesium that you really want?
Exactly.
You know,
That's what I was
I want what like there's different things, and that's where the knowledge is power. You know, the more you know about your food, you're like, oh my god, like I always need calcium, or I always need this, or I always need iron, you know. And these foods are rich in that, and like I know if I'm gonna saute some spinach and like go to this dance class and like fuck it up better than if I like, you know, fried some chicken really quick, or like some 3 chicken nuggets and then went to the dance class. You know, like big difference in how you feel, and you'll love it, you know.
Yeah.
So, sorry, question. So where would you guys say, where would you both say you received the majority of your knowledge? It's knowledge is power. Would you say it was through experience, Google, Oprah? What would you say? Where would you think where can we find this knowledge? Where?
Def the internet.
Yeah.
I Google everything. But def the internet. We've been vegan probably going on 3 years now.
Nice.
And you know, you learn as you go.
Yeah.
You def learn as you go. So even clients, I've learned a lot from clients, but def the internet. A lot of YouTube videos. So that's where we've got majority of our information from. I took a few nutritional classes at UB. I learned a lot from those also. So, you know, always a student. Always.
I'm a big learner too, and I definitely Google everything, but I think I'm such a like social person, or like socially influenced maybe. I just like love like asking people. So like I even have like a pen pal in Bali that I've never met, just because I hashtag vegan, and she is vegan, and she's, you know, she like lives a similar lifestyle to like what I want to live. So I just ask her a bunch of questions via Instagram. Yeah, I don't know. I would say like friends, for sure. If you have a friend that's vegan, ask them a question and like be real. And I think people assume that like vegans are like more judgy, but honestly like meat eaters are more judgy. So like I promise you, if you do reach out to someone and you're like, hey, like I'm struggling, but like I keep eating meat, like I don't know what to do, like they'll be like, hey, like try this, or like come out to eat with me, or like let me make you a meal and show you how easy it is. Like I love doing that, you know. I'm like such a better sharer now.
Seriously. And I feel like you're just a lot more open-minded, you know?
Yeah.
So don't judge. Like, if you go vegan, don't judge meat eaters. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm doing a bunch of judging right now. I feel like I have to. But don't judge the meat eaters.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of have been I'm like growing for sure, and my palate is expanding, but I was like a very anti-vegan guy.
Okay.
Yeah, just.
So there's.
But then yesterday you had beans at my house.
I sure enough did.
Rice and
they
beans.
were delicious.
Exactly.
It's all how you flavor it too.
Exactly.
You have to have like good flavored beans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So.
Rice and beans in the food truck, and Connecticut, and we're vegan. And gluten-free.
Yeah. So like rice and beans are blazing. Bean
Is
burgers.
there protein in flax?
Oh yeah.
Quinoa,
Quinoa.
broccoli.
You can just go to
chickpeas.
Trader Joe's or in wherever you grocery shop and get like, are you into smoothies?
Mm-hmm.
You can like get a protein thing and like you'd be surprised. It'll be like 2 scoops is like 20 grams of protein, you know, and you can get like pea protein and you won't taste like the weird texture of the bean. And like that's already like half of the protein that you need in a day.
Exactly.
You know, so like that's major. People think that you need like 16 burgers to be good, but it's like, no, actually like 2 milkshakes and you're good on your protein. Worry about like other things that you probably are deficient in that like the, media isn't like pushing down your throat.
Yeah, because everyone's like, oh my god, you need protein, you need protein. The average sedentary person does not need more than 50, 55 grams of protein a day. 1 piece of chicken is 43 grams of protein. 1 piece is like 1 chicken breast. So say you have 3 meals a day, you're already way over, And that's why I said, like, one of the first things I said, like, our portions are way bigger than they need to be. Well, yeah, there's lentils are full of protein.
Lentil soup, if you don't like the texture, blend it, with everything that you want in that soup and then like put it in the stove.
Yeah, pumpkin seeds. And like these are all things like before vegan, I'm like, I would never eat that. Before I was vegan, I would never eat mushrooms.
Really?
I would never eat cauliflower. I'm like, it smells like art.
Fried cauliflower. Oh man.
So when you go vegan, you realize all the better options you have. Chia seeds, oats, pistachio nuts, hemp seeds. Hemp is a superfood, period. So I try to put hemp in everything. So there's a bunch of other ways you can get protein without soy.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nice. Let's roll the dice. Chef Casey, will you be honest? Roll the dice. Again.
Oh, nice.
I'm sorry, I'm back.
One. Diet.
Diet.
We know a lot about that. Maybe.
What I eat in a day?
Oh yeah.
My diet?
Let's talk about the day in the life.
Okay, so diet. I'm a horrible eater right now. I'll wake up, I'll have a smoothie or a protein shake. I try not to do too much protein powder, but I will do hemp seeds in my smoothie. I will do chia seeds, fruits, vegetables.
Yeah, fruit, right? Anything down too, yeah.
Oh yeah. I always put coconut water in my smoothies. It's just extra hydrating. Full of electrolytes. It hydrates you better than water. It hydrates you better than Gatorade.
Especially better than Gatorade.
Yeah, Gatorade. But you guys knew that. For lunch, I try to make sure lunch is my biggest meal, and you always want lunch to be your biggest meal. So you're fueled up for the day. You want it to be your heaviest meal. So for lunch, we'll probably do like some fried mushrooms, some rice and beans, and a grain, or some quesadillas. It depends, it depends on the meal prep leftovers. But I always make sure it's my heaviest meal. I don't snack much, I don't snack much throughout the day. And for dinner will be wholesome, but it won't be heavy. Maybe like a soup, like a lentil soup or a chickpea curry, something like that. But it's never too heavy. All my portions, like I said, are small. And I just always make sure it's a carb, a protein, and a green. And that's like a full day of eating. I'm not gonna lie to you. Usually I eat like twice a day. I'll have a smoothie and I'll have dinner and I'm fine. Going vegan, your stomach shrinks. No?
Oh my god.
No? Okay. Maybe
I am so hungry all the time. But I've always loved eating, so that might be it. But if anything now, I eat more.
Okay. So me and my boyfriend, we try to kind of outdo each other with fasting. He always outdoes me. He's an amazing faster. So that, I feel like that's also stuff you learn, consciousness, it's fine to fast for a day. You will not die. It's okay.
A cleanse.
It's a cleanse.
It's more than fine.
Exactly. And when you're fasting that day, fast from Facebook, fast from all social media, fast from toxic family members, fast. Kind of like a retreat, like a daily retreat.
Yes.
But yeah, that's about what I eat in a full day. Normal day, I have a smoothie and dinner, and that's it.
Nice.
I don't have a normal day right now. I try to get a smoothie in every couple of days. I would like it to be every day. I love chia seeds. I won't even blend them. I'll like make my smoothie and then I'll throw the chia seeds in after. Like
She makes just chia seeds. That's
With-
a smoothie.
Yeah.
Chia seeds with a splash of smoothie.
Yeah, I just love the texture. I don't know, like, and it, you know, it just is great. I love chia seeds. I love spinach. I love artichokes right now. I'm a big like whatever food like I'm into, like I'll try to like throw it into like every meal, right? So like if I'm into artichokes, I'll make like pasta with it. I'll fry it. I'll bake it. I'll, you know, make soup with it. Like I don't know. Like I try to like pick whatever it is that I'm really into and make as many different types of meals. I think being Haitian is like you just cook what's in your fridge, for real. And so then I make sure that I have a lot in my fridge and like butter substitutes like Earth Balance, soy free. It literally is so much better and you don't feel like crap. You don't have dairy. It's like
I could eat that.
that's
butter.
something where it's like if you don't even go vegan, just like substitute the butter because you won't taste the difference and like you will feel better. Yeah, there's just, you know, milk. I'll throw cereals like my quick, like, all right, I don't want to cook anything. I just like need to eat really, really quick. Rice milk, I was telling her, like, I love rice milk. It's not, I didn't find some yesterday, but I'm sure it's out here. And that has like, and it's usually enriched with like B12, which is like the one thing that we lack.
Supposedly.
But yeah, but what I'm saying is like you can get it, anything that they're saying you're not gonna have in veganism is not true. Like you have a richer lifestyle if anything.
Promise you.
Yeah. Yeah, my diet's just all over the place, but that's about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with vitamins also, you know, if you're vegan. I take a vitamin C, a vitamin D because it's been sunny the past few days, but we just don't get enough sun. So, you know, if you're gonna be vegan, you know, don't be too scared to like get a B12 you know, vitamin or anything that you feel like you're gonna lack, but you probably won't need it. It'll come in your diet, but don't be ashamed to take vitamins.
Sweet. We're running a little low on time, but how about we get through one more and then we do open it up for like some questions. So maybe should I have one of the next one then?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
My god sister gave me a ride today, and then Andre was like, "Are you staying?" And she's like, "Sure." But now she has to go to work, so.
Can I have my phone back,
Let's pretend. 5. Food feeling. Okay. I'm gonna assume that I know what he means by that. How you feel with food. I've talked about that. I'm just, an emotional person. Food affects my emotions. And like it sounds very basic because it is. It's like food has chemicals. Chemicals are in your body. They affect your emotions. Like it's just science, basic science. But I really just didn't understand that until, again, like a year ago or even sooner or more recent. Food feeling. Yeah, that's it. I really like, I promise you, like, I don't crave meat. So like I feel, and like that, like, I don't know, I just feel proud of myself when I do things that are good for myself. I don't know, like whenever you invest in yourself, you're like, yes, like I did that and I feel good. And like, I know that that's gonna be, it's gonna like grow. You know, it's not just like a one-time thing. It's like this is something that's going to develop into like something even better.
Right.
So, yeah, food feeling. That's that.
Yeah, and definitely what you said. It's an investment in yourself that you are going, like it's gonna pay you back for your whole life. So, like making even minor changes now. You know, like there's this guy, Supernova Slime, and he has a book. Do you know the name of it?
What, Helix?
No, Supernova Slime book.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, he basically teaches you how to become vegan with baby steps. So there's tips like just drink more water throughout the day so you're not as hungry. And when you make a plate of food, use meat as a garnish instead of like, meat is the main thing. Like you said, if you don't have meat, it's like, this isn't a meal. But like if you start, you know, try to like just use meat as like a little garnish. I will find out the name of the book before we go, and
Yeah.
I'll let you know. But and if you aren't sure what to buy, like I have a website, The Ethnic Vegan, that's my catering, and I have a thorough grocery list. Like people who are just starting to be vegan, and it's super helpful. It's like all the options you have in the supermarket, changing your butter, changing your milk, like baby steps like that. But like I said, it's an investment now that you're gonna feel it for the rest of your life. Like your health is all you have. You can have all the money in the world, like it won't always necessarily buy you health. So invest in yourself.
And one last thing to add to that, I know you were saying something about thyroid and stuff. Like my mom definitely had, I don't know, hyperactive or hypoactive, something wrong with her thyroid, and I know it's in like a lot of women. And then there's just a lot of other things that are just like in women that they can like pass down. I think diet is like so big. Like being like I would hope, but like I'm pretty confident that like I'm not gonna experience, or if I do, it won't be as intense as like what she experienced with her thyroid. And that is something that like is passed down, just like proof, you know? So I would say like also just look into your family history and like what is, you know, what kind of diseases are there, whether it's mental disorder, whether it's, you know, cancers, whatever it is, like really just like, hey dad, like what did grandpa have, or like what do you struggle with, or like have you ever had like any random surgeries that were like out of the blue, and start to like figure out like if you feel like you're starting to feel those symptoms, or if you think that could possibly be something that you would go through. I think that helps make like a food decision for me too, because I'm like, whoa, I don't want, this is so much more important than the cake right now, you know? Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry, last thing. That's a huge point. People try to instill in your head like, oh, your mom has high blood pressure, you're probably gonna have high blood pressure. Your grandfather has cancer, you might have cancer. That is not true. It is not true. It does not run in the family. It is not genetic. Diets are genetic. That's what runs in the family. We pass down recipes the same way we can pass down blood pressure. So if your mom has blood pressure, diabetes, that does not mean that you're gonna have it. If you change your diet, you won't have it. Like, it's literally that simple. So don't think because all this stuff runs in your family, you're already set up for failure. You're not.
So you guys mentioned that food affects your, like, how you feel emotionally, and I'm sure physically too. But I think in order to get to that point, you have to be like more aware of like your mind-body connection, or like,
Correct.
you know, that more, not psychological, but like you have to be able to recognize those feelings and the relationship those feelings are have with food. So what are some suggestions that you have to help strengthen like that connection with your body, to be more aware of how food is affecting you?
So first, becoming more in tune with your body, period. And I'm a firm believer that takes meditation. You know, that takes getting out all the negative, all the excess, all the heavy stuff. So doing a cleanse, I would even recommend, but a healthy cleanse, like a completely natural herb cleanse. Like there's an herb called burdock root. It's totally natural, and it's like a gently cleanser. Watermelon is a gently cleanser. You eat enough watermelon, it's a cleanse. So I would say cleanse, meditate, become more in tune with your body. Like that's a huge first step, and educate yourself. If it's something you truly want to do, you're gonna do it. So you just gotta get your mind there first.
Ground yourself.
Yeah, ground yourself to get out in nature. Let your feet touch the grass, you know? Real grass, which is hard to find up here. So just totally become one with yourself.
Yeah. I firmly believe in the cleanse. Like once you get rid of stuff, if you start reintroducing some of the things that you thought that you needed, you're gonna be like, whoa, I don't want that in my body. And like I know I don't, because like not only does my stomach hurt, but like my mind is like I'm a little bit more short than I usually am, or whatever it may be, you know. And again, friends, like for me that really helps. Just like anytime I have a question, anytime I feel like insecure about something, knowing that someone else has gone through it already, like hearing 3 years, I'm like, like that's so exciting, you know. Yeah, knowing someone else has like done it really just helps, and it takes like that pressure off of being like, oh, I'm the only one that's going through this. Like, why is it so hard for me? Because like they'll probably share their experiences with you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. Before you were talking about figuring out what your body needs, more so in like, am I lacking B12, am I lacking this, am I lacking that? And I know there's lots of places that you can look online to find what you need, but how do you guys like track what you're lacking?
I really trust my body at this point. I I don't do as much research like, oh, I really need iron, but like I'll cook up, I don't know, that's a really bad answer, but like I know what my body wants, and now that like it mostly is vegetables, like I can usually assume that like I'm pretty accurate on it, you know, and it's not gonna mess me up.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
How do I know? I try to be cautious. So I'll make a meal that I know has enough iron, calcium. If I feel like I'm not gonna be able to eat today, I'm gonna take an iron supplement, I'm gonna take a calcium supplement. So, and this is literally only because I'm breastfeeding. Before this, I was like, I don't need food. Who needs food? But it's literally just, you know, being careful at first, and like, you know, there's ways to tell. And these are charts that you can find online. It's like, if I need chocolate, you know, I'm lacking magnesium. If I feel like I need meat, you're probably lacking iron or calcium. So, and you know, spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, full of iron and calcium. So those are ways that, you know, it's what you crave that'll tell you what you're lacking.
Bread is vegan, most bread.
I thought you said red. I'm like, what?
Oh, no, bread. Bread most bread is vegan.
Yeah.
Sugar, bread, all of that, like really messes with me sometimes. Like I can't have too much. And that's something that I didn't know until I was vegan and I was eating a lot of bread.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like this doesn't feel good. So yeah, I would say like again, once you go through that cleanse and then you're like eating what you're supposed to be eating, or as much natural stuff as you're supposed to be eating, when you start putting in like processed foods or different types of foods, you're like, okay, maybe I need to have less of this. So I still eat bread. I love bread, but I won't have it for every meal, or I'll be conscious of like how much I eat. You know what I mean? To make sure I don't get that stomachache or bloatedness.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You're a whole lot less bloated vegan. We probably sound crazy, like, oh, you know, your bodies are gonna talk to you, but I promise you, your bodies talk to you. Once you cleanse out all that stuff, like you just know, you just have a wholeness like within yourself that your body gonna talk to you.
Do it for a week and you'll know.
You're gonna feel the changes immediately. Yeah. And it's hard. Are you still at Metro?
Yeah.
It's hard working around food.
Hell yeah.
It's so hard. Like you're starving at work and these KFC valves come out. Oh my God. Drink water, hydrate. Just try not to get hungry if you know you're going to be in those predicaments.
Gotcha. Thank you.
I feel so bad backing it up, but I think both of you guys are pretty sensitive for time. But any last words? We also have the book that Chef Casey was mentioning about. I'll send that email later tonight, just letting you know. Any last words? Any last thoughts, final thoughts you guys would like to share?
Applause to Andre for doing what he did.